stay there safe at all times. I want to say a special good morning and welcome to those of you that just joined me on television. That's GBN Channel 7, Channel 11, Channel 20 if you are on cable. Or if you follow me on the World Wide Web at www.gbn.gd. Certainly we say thanks for being part of the conversation. Your boy JC here with you, but I got Dylan and Tanya, and trust me, boys, he said it right, the masters of the entrance is about to go wild up in here. We want to have a nice unique conversation. It's over Carnival, and Carnival is one thing that's unique about us Grenadian people and Caribbean people. Food, music, mass, Carnival. It's one conversation. We may differ on our ideological beliefs, our spiritual backgrounds, but when we say Carnival, we say mass, food, party, parlads, bad behavior. Everything. All of a sudden, everybody goes at ease because we understand it's a language that we all understand. And certainly, I want to say good morning to you, Tanya. Good morning to you, Dylan.
Good morning.
Thanks for being part of the conversation.
Thank you very much for having us.
Well, Carnival, we haven't had this. Well, COVID has had us on the back foot for the last 2 years.
2 years, yes.
And I know Grenadians, Trinidadians, Caribbean people are just yearning. Well, Grenadians, they're out of the blocks, and I think everybody falls start in Carnival. You know? I know normally if you're the world one of these major championships and you fall start, you're out of the race. Mm-hmm. But in this case, you know what? Whether you fall start or whether you jump the gun since last week, or you jumping the gun from 12 o'clock this evening, today, either way, Carnival is in full swing. But you guys are here, when you're here to enjoy the festivities, you're trying to get business into it as well. So Tanya, so you are representing Yuma?
Yes.
And Dylan, Seafood Promotions. And it's a cross collaboration.
It is.
That's called Vibe Mass. Talk to me about that collab.
All right, so in 2019, we all know what happened in 2019 with the execution of bans and whatnot. And having been around for at least 10 years doing our house party, and in 2019 we did Rumble. And we also collab with other entities, put on other events, etc. Seafood has built up its reputation as having quality events, etc. So we saw the opportunity to branch off and then make a mass ban, having been in mass our entire lives, from both being the inheritors of the Jambalasi rule energy. If no one knows, the Charles family is Moss International. Moss International is the Charles family. So coming off of 2019, we said we wanted to reach out to someone who knew how to do production. Right. We're good at putting on events, doing the infrastructure. We needed someone to do the production side of things. We're not going to take up something we don't know anything about and give a poor quality or substandard of what Grenadians deserve and should get. Okay. So we'd have made contact with Yuma through a mutual friend of mine and them. And from then, it's just been nothing but love and good vibes from these people, and from, I guess, my sister Tanya on the side here. And it came together. And since then, we were supposed to, as Tanya would say, is that we would have done all the planning needed necessary to launch in 2020. And we were scheduled to launch in April of that year. Then COVID happened, and we had to stop. And we've been meeting every week since then in the event that something came about. Right. We had costumes that we had to figure out how to be relevant. We sold the costumes that we had for 2020, and we had to go back to the drawing board and figure it out. And one of the conversations we had, what should be the theme for 2022? And we came up with something that was Spice a la carte. We said we were going to do as much homage to Grenada as possible. This is long before Carnival and Grenada was announced. And that Spice Mass actually made their theme. We had Spice a la carte down. We went through the names. I mean, they were fighting us on names. I think we were fighting on... it was Rum Punch. So Paradise Punch, which was one of our sections, was actually supposed to be called Rum Punch. Right. Because we went through a list of things that Grenadians like to eat and drink or whatnot and whatnot.
So you went through a list. Let me see if you got anywhere close to that list. What is it you had on that list?
Until the before, the finalists.
No, the before list. Hear what you had on that list.
Yeah, no, list. We had a lot of things in it.
So what you have what's on the final list? Let me see if you really nail the final list. Don't help him, Tanya. Don't help him.
No, the finalist right now is Oil Down. That's Oil Down. It's a homage to. It's a play on words. It's a food / a homage to being all greased down with jab. So a lot of people actually had questions as to why it didn't look like the dish, and I was telling them like, yes, it's called all done because it's spice a la carte, but it's really meant to be the jab section.
Oil down.
Correct. You're oiled down. You look like you're ready for Juve on the road, but you're still pretty in it.
Oh, okay.
Right.
And I can assume, Tanya, that you really come here in all of this. You probably come here, you're affiliation with humor, but you just come to get some more oil, right?
Well, let me see. And I was saying to Dylan, I was like, boy, I hope I can make it on the road on Monday and see how it goes from there, because the plate is large. But yeah, I had my first touch of jab in Miami Carnival last year. I had no idea what to experience, and I was actually around all of these Grenadians and others. And I don't even play Juve back home in Trinidad, so it was different for me. So having that oil and stuff and everything, it was a freeing experience, I wouldn't lie, and it's something that I have not done in a very long time, so I'm looking forward to it on Monday.
I can safely tell you, and Dylan would agree, whatever the experience you had in Miami,
I know
it is nothing. Nothing. I don't care what they tell you. I'm not sure what outer body experience you may have had.
But the one here?
With the one you have here.
Right.
Completely.
I was told, I was warned, I have to expect a lot of things, so I'm just gonna be free and let stuff happen, because I'm very guarded, but I'm like, you know what? Say when you're in Rome, do what the Romans do. So
not even in this case, when you're in greens.
Yeah, when you're in the greens.
Yeah, when you're in greens, you know, we want to take that from
right.
No way. This is ours.
This is
authentically
the real deal.
Okay.
This is the real deal. So tell me about the excitement, the collab. You were here. What can we expect in terms of the collab and being here on the ground in Grenada?
Well, as Dylan was saying, we have 4 sections, and they have their authenticity behind it, because the other sections are Paradise Punch, Juve, and then Sugar and Spice. So that is our Spice a la carte menu presentation for 2022, first out the box, and we hope that masqueraders enjoy it. We hope that everything fits. We hope that they have all of the vibe and everything on the road. In terms of what to expect, we have a combination between international DJs and locals. We also have stuff pertaining, as you mentioned just now, what do you think we can't figure out? The shot thing to
so
get
there's a backpack.
Yeah.
So in the event that no one wants to go to the bar for the specific cocktail that they want,
right,
we're going to have guys with the backpacks on to just give them quick shots of rum punch on the
freeloads.
Yeah.
Freeloads. They want to cool down, want a little drink that's cool and but still packs a punch and keep your vibes. We got you.
Now, there's always concerns here, Dylan, that Spice Mass, because everybody is very territorial. So Grenadians wants to hold on to the jab. And Ian, we know Trinidad wants a bit of the jab. They want it to rejuve. Listen, are you concerned? Is for those that's concerned that it's becoming too foreign? What would you take on that?
We're very, very local. I mean, anyone could ask you about C4, and C4 has been around for 10 years doing house party. And that event for sure has become a staple. And I'll say this. Before everyone else did a weekday event in Carnival, C4's house party was the first one to do it. Everyone used to do Friday night, Saturday night, and the whole week was just clear. Because Grenada didn't have that culture of partying during the week. I remember the first time we did it, and it was like, I had to go to work the next day.
Yeah.
So that alone should tell you that
I don't think
Tanya's used to this.
Yeah, but although she's trying to be the modest one, right? You know, she's still trying to want us to believe that.
I will add to this. If it's one thing, well, I mean, it's a couple of things, but if it's one thing that C4 has maintained with the collaboration is keeping it Grenadian, keeping it authentic, recognizing roots, not straying from it, and that is something that we respect, because at the end of the day, we're partnering to come into your house, so we can't force our culture and ourselves onto what it is, the existing culture and everything where Grenada is concerned, and the carnival and the Spice Mass, because we don't have the old down type of Juve, the old down type of festival parade. We have our Juve moment, then we have the Monday part of it, and then we have the Pretty Mass on the Tuesday. So it's just really a fusion to make the Pretty Mass side of things in Grenada more welcoming, because I understand that it's still a growing aspect of the carnival.
Juve is definitely what we focus on.
Exactly, and that is totally understandable. So, just bit by bit, but it's not it is not in terms of infiltrating to, bring
over.
Trinidad. No, it's
But
not.
you would agree, though, Dylan, that, I mean, when you compare, there's nothing wrong with feeding off of each other.
Yeah, no.
I mean, Trinidad, half an hour away, there's so much we share.
There's so much experience that we could
and the
get from them.
culture, family, everything wise. I mean, nothing is wrong with lending and blending some of the...
Funny enough, right, and Tanya might disagree. Trinis might get angry at me for saying this, but Ali Gill actually did an article 5 years ago or 4 years ago where he basically laid out how Trinidad got its carnival, and it was actually after emancipation, and Trinidad had this labor movement for all the small lands to come down, and a set of Grenadians went and resettled in a place called Blanchished Settlement in Trinidad.
Small island people, boy.
Small, so to be
Small
honest,
island people.
and if you know where carnival comes from, carnival is actually of French origin.
Yes.
And it would have come then. Trinidad has never been colonized by the French.
We're not
So-
going to argue on mid-morning, but here,
But yeah.
You could argue.
we're not.
Listen,
Yeah.
But so
no horseback. No
I ain't
horseback.
going to go down this Campbell route here with my culture in Trinidad.
I realize she ready to take you
Yeah,
on.
at the end of the day, we're all Caribbean, we're all West Indian, we're all people. So we share it, and we blend in, we fuse in.
that's why. So circle back. I'm saying that we learn, we get from each other all the time.
But it's interesting, though, and I mean, that we share, while there's so much diversity in who we are. And I've always said what is interesting, and in terms of the relationship between Trinidad and Grenada, 30 minutes away. And there is so many variations to the culture, but there's so many things that is just so much alike. I mean, sometimes you walk through Trinidad and you watch places, not just Trinidad, but the Caribbean, and you can't help but say, well, that looks familiar. The ports, the layout of the cities, and all of that. You just can't help but realizing that this is Caribbean, it's just one big melting pot of people.
It's what it's meant to be. What it's meant to be regional integration, and what it's meant to be CARICOM essentially. All of us supposed to be working together to create a product to export and to basically build up each other. So if it needs to start with us, that's great.
Yeah, like the us. Yeah, the us.
Listen,
It's us.
It is us.
Tanya, somebody have to lead the pack.
But I mean, I'm the only female in the room here, so how are we doing this?
You will allow the alpha males to lead.
No, that's alpha female.
Folks, in case you just joined me, Dylan and Tanya here. Dylan from C4, Tanya from Yuma, and it's a collaboration. It's all things carnival. So let's get into the nitty-gritty of your offerings, where it can be found, and the colors and everything else. Just create some pictures for me.
All right, so Tanya already listed out the sections. We have, if you want to know any other information, we have our social media page, we have a Facebook page, we have a Twitter page, and we also have vibemasscarnival.com. The band is currently sold out. If you want to get a costume last minute, you have to either contact or message one of the pages or contact one of the members. But there's a waiting list at this point. It's only if someone doesn't collect their costume
And size availability.
Right.
On top of that, we have one music truck, one bar truck, a bathroom truck, and then we have a little surprise for everyone. On top of those guys with the shots, and then we have people. Another incentive is people walking on little walking coolers to give up waters, etc. We have something we held close to our chest for the longest while was that we had our designated lunch spot. We believe that was an aspect in our carnival that was lacking. It wasn't like friendly for a person to be able to sit, relax, eat their lunch, and then get back to the carnival, which is what we experience outside of carnival, whether it be Trinidad, Barbados, St. Vincent, St. Lucia, or in the bigger continents. So on top of that, also, we know there's a longer route this year. It's not just parking up by Tantin and finding the band on Lagoon Road. You're going to have to we're asking all our masqueraders to park as close to Old Trafford, which is where the lunch stop is, on both days when the mass is starting. Please come early, because we're going to start on time. The truck is going to be moving. I don't want you to miss any of the vibes. Please park as close as possible to Old Trafford. There will be shuttles. We're organizing shuttles from Old Trafford to get through the bands to get to where our truck will be.
And you're telling Grenadians to get there on time.
Perfect. If mass
Dylan,
Juve finishing 8 o'clock, so y'all should be on the road by 10.
Sound like Trinis. Never early.
Really?
Nah, we don't be early sometimes.
True. Well, Trinity don't be early because they probably don't ever plan to go back home. Grenadians, on the other hand, though, we're a little bit more tempered in how we. I mean, we will go full blast, but in the back of our minds, we're still thinking, I had to go to work tomorrow. Trinities, on the other side, as far as I understand, they just going.
And then when we wake up,
and when they wake up, they start asking, boy, where am I going today?
to bed.
to bed.
Staying in bed.
To bed. But I'm certain, Tanya, it's probably good for you would agree that it helps and throws this cross cultural sharing, the cross experiences when it comes to Carnival. Grenada in August, Trinidad next February.
It is. We've learned a lot from the C4 team and vice versa. There are things that they would have implemented, stated, and stuff that's different here. And the question is like, how would it be received in Trinidad because of our mindset and stuff and everything. So it's really and truly how it is you use what it is that you learned during this experience and see how it can now shape either the Trinidadian experience or the other experiences that we have in the Caribbean, because we also have bands in other places apart from just Trinidad and Grenada. Right. So in that instance, it's a good thing. And then too with social media, I mean, even a 30-minute flight, you basically now have to scroll. So nothing is far from anybody anymore. So being able to adapt to somebody's culture or learn about it is just basically like a click or a scroll away. So it's a little easier as well.
It's interesting that we had to go through COVID, and there's also the concern as to how we get back into Carnival as it is. Mm-hmm. But do you see this, Dylan, as a transition that allows for growth? Some are saying after 2 years maybe we lose some element, but I'm getting the sense though that Carnival 2020, 2022, and going forward, there seem to be this renewed vibes, vigor. Well, people just want to go out there and just do what they have to do.
I tell you this, if people forgot how much vibes was in Grenada for Carnival, for Spice Mass, things like what happened at Pre-Day with Killer being on that fence surfing, the entire crowd will definitely incentivize everyone for 2023. So I'm telling you, if you missed this, I'm pretty sure a lot of people are away watching all these snaps, all the parties, because a lot of them are doing well and being successful, and they're going to see all this, say, wow, I didn't realize this is what I need to be, because as you said, it might have been a stumbling block, but at this point we're at both pace now. We're going to launch next year.
I think it's fair enough to say that from the last 2 years, and that's just probably just a lesson for life as it is, that we go through challenges and suddenly we think this is the worst thing that can possibly happen to us, that can happen to me as an individual.
Right.
And not realizing that the stumbling blocks just yet an opportunity for us to stop, rethink, refocus, and rechannel the energy, and choose a higher trajectory where we set ourselves new planes, new targets, and we launch off from here.
I agree. I think that there's something to that we've learned in the last 2 years is how to, I guess, curb expectations, because people will assume that how it was 2 years ago is how it's going to be 2 years later, and a lot has changed. So in that instance, for us, it's like you've been cooped up, you've been inside, you've just been, and I mean, every single country had its own different timelines and removing certain restrictions and stuff and everything. So that bottling up of energy, that bottling up of everything is something that was just waiting to have an avenue to come out. And Spice Mass would be that come Monday and Tuesday, and then everything, all of the other parties and stuff that's going on. People just want to be able to express themselves on that freedom because it's been taken away. And sometimes when you don't miss something unless it's gone. So then you have to you have to be able to cherish how free you can possibly be in a particular moment.
The things we took for granted at Dylan, and I think COVID, believe me, that's taught us a lot. I mean, two of the most transitionary things that took place in my life, I think, was Ivan Emily in 2004, 2005, and now COVID. So many things we take for granted. The ability to get up and say, I'm going into town.
I'm going to the beach.
I'm going to the beach. Simple as it may sunk in our heads. COVID brought us up and we started realizing you can't go to
anywhere.
Beach. Yeah. Oh, you better go out, but you better be back by 12.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden you start recognizing, boy, the freedoms that we enjoy here as Grenadians, Caribbean people, as compared to other parts of the world. It makes you realize that this little region here is quite unique.
Correct.
Yeah. I agree.
Correct.
Definitely, I agree. That was definitely something that played on a lot of people's mind. I think a lot of people missed having that ability to go out and have fun, and then this experience, the whole Carnival experience, is just, especially that jab. I know Grenadians was ready for jobs. Even we had a little thing last year.
I know what to say. I saw some videos
voted
online.
and had our jobs last year, but
I saw some stuff online. I was like, what?
I thought about it because for us in the media, I remember we were like, is this really happening? And it took me back to that standoff. There was a standoff with law enforcement.
On the bridge.
And it's so ever etched in my mind. And I'm like, okay, this is not happening. This isn't happening. We've always known Grenadians to be this peaceful. We see, okay, officer, sorry. But then you saw a shift. And there was two elements to that that I saw. One, a sense of Grenadianism that's saying this is ours, we want it. And that sense that says, you know what, we're going to stand up for what we believe. And I was saying, pray God, I hope it doesn't agitate beyond that point where there's a confrontation. Right? But it didn't go there. But little did we know, it sort of set the tone to whet the appetite for 2022. Here we are. Well, the thing start for
the stage is set.
The stage is set. I mean, backing on Friday. I guess they don't call it backing on Friday for nothing.
Yeah, exactly.
So what's your plans? What's your plans for the rest of the day, Tanya?
Distribute costumes. Make sure that masqueraders are happy. Make sure that our distribution process is flowing.
She's trying to be all modest, you know.
Yeah.
Work. Work.
Ask them. It's work. Seriously,
it's mask cam. Making sure all our masqueraders are set, are ready for the road. Any issues we have to address it, etc.
Correct.
We want to give everybody the best customer service possible.
But work while you're having fun. Because that's the most effective. You know.
I'll drag her. I'll drag her a couple places. I intend to bring them.
I wonder what's in the cup.
Sponsored items.
It's the seafood goods.
I can't help but laugh at the response, sponsored items.
Sponsored items.
Yeah, and I know water is a sponsored item, depending on who the company is. So I'm just going to leave that all by itself. I'm not going to be questioned.
Well, I mean, if I can leave the house, something can leave the house with me. So.
Well, I mean, I know yesterday they were getting ready to rally, and I know law enforcement yesterday were encouraging folks that in the midst of the festivities that you want to be safe. And it was certainly from C4's promotion and humor. While you encourage, enjoy yourself, there is the safety elements to it.
There is.
There definitely is. Always have a designated driver. Always. And if you are the only one driving, I would say get a taxi. Get a friend to drop you, get a friend to pick you up. There's a couple, I believe, Uber-like apps in Grenada. Figure out whichever one you want to use and use it. I do not encourage anyone to drink and drive. Stay safe, everyone, and let's enjoy Carnival together. We want to have no accidents or casualties this Carnival. We want to have 100% a good time, and that is that.
Well, I don't drink, so we good. Like water. Is water?
I
want to get a sip again.
You don't drink, you don't drink unsponsored items.
Yeah.
Because it's sponsored stuff.
But as you just said, it could be water.
It could be water. So, because I was about to get ready to say you don't drink. Whatever time you're drinking, it has to be sponsored. That's part of taking corporate responsibility quite seriously.
Correct.
It is sponsored. But seriously, folks, we want to encourage you as you go, our parents, and we can't overemphasize the need for you to ensure that you at all times you know where your children where they are. And most of the people think because it's Carnival, they go, the adults go play, and they leave the children to their own devices. I mean, I would want to encourage folks wherever you are. If it's a case you just have to cut a key, you all plan this idea of leaving keys in these very friendly, socially, these friendly places that you think you're the only one that knows about it. We want to encourage you folks, go and enjoy Spice Mass. Did we tell the folks where they can purchase their?
So they could go on again. Band is sold out.
Right, yes, you're right. But just in case.
Just in case. You can come to the mass camp on tomorrow at about,
I think from 6 is what.
from 6 p.m.
6 p.m.
Around that time is when we're going to lock off collection for people who actually registered.
And that's mass camp located where?
In Monjulu, St. George's at the C4 House.
Describe. Tell us exactly where.
All right, so there's a cool nursery in Monjulu. If you know where the old TV station is, you take that road down to go down to the cliff. There's a second house on your right. Look for the Vibe Mass banners in front of the gate.
You can't miss it.
Cannot miss it.
It's gonna be pure vibes, and you never know. Tanya might be dancing on some pole somewhere.
Yeah, well, I was dancing, but not on a pole. I can't hold up. I ain't that strong.
Yeah, the sponsored stuff doesn't allow you to keep up.
That it depends on the time of the day.
You said, I mean, you started the conversation, and I couldn't help but to ask you, what's your connection with Ian?
John Malassi. That's my cousin, my first cousin.
Okay. So I know he's listening.
Yeah.
Well, you and your family, because Ian and I, we're brothers from another mother and father.
Okay.
My boy Ian, sending you some love, comrade.
Yeah.
Sending you some love, folks. It is Mass Vibes, collaboration between C4 Promotions and Yuma out of Trinidad and Tobago. First, certainly you get an opportunity to take your carnival experience to another level. And certainly, if you really want to know how the training play mass, you check Tanya. Remind her, tell her, Juve morning. When the cock crow and the whole place is dark, tell her, Dylan, you have to show her how we do it.
Trust me.
In Greece.
I's a mass man.
Yeah. Whatever else happens.
What time does cock crow?
5 o'clock in the morning.
5 o'clock.
Blood clot. All right.
when you hear the cock crow,
5 a.m.
and hear the police start to drag the chain,
and you hear the horn blow.
And the horn blow. Tanya, you know the thing start. 5
a.m. is 15 minutes from the alarm going off. All right, no problem.
You see, but that's what she misses. Because the truth is, normally. Remember, you'll be coming from somewhere. You won't be home, Tanya.
What? What do you mean? You mean like Sunday night?
Yeah.
No, I'll be in my bed.
So she thinks.
So she thinks.
I mean, a lot of us who knows, we know exactly where we are going to be.
Where we going to be, Dylan?
Tanya, you can't leave Trinidad.
Amen.
You can't leave Trinidad. Come here. After you set up all of these mass back, you set the tone for the night for pretty mass.
My energy and my whining moments had to be safe for Monday and Tuesday. But here we are saying, no problem, I'll be there.
Yeah, but you have to save for Monday and Tuesday, but it must be infused with the oil. That's how the oil gets your joints loose. You need the oil, before you get the oil.
Fine, fair enough.
Yeah?
All right.
But you must get it. You must get it, Juve.
Yeah. All right, it's okay. I done it already.
The Lord will take you.
Well, I mean, clearly, seeing that, people could just knock. So, yeah, I was like, all right, come, wake up.
Well, the truth is, they won't be telling you to wake up because you'll be up somewhere. And I've always said that because this year, before we wrap, there was always like the conversation regarding the moving off what was traditionally Dimanche Grand the Sunday to what is now Calypso Thursday. Last night, but traditionally that's what it was. You went from Dimanche
straight into Juve.
Right, which is the same thing.
What they encourage in this year is that everyone has like a little line.
Right. So either way, you'll be up in the night anyway. So that's not going to change. But instead of being in that, but what I've always liked, that was just part of the excitement and children growing up. When you come from Dimanche, and even if you didn't go to Dimanche, you were up somewhere.
Gotcha.
Cooking a pot, you and some family and friends, just chilling.
Well, I mean, when you say food, I did so. Yeah, hand me up for sure. Yeah.
We ain't have to study about that alarm anymore. She go actually oil long. She go actually sponsored items.
What's all this is food? I am there.
Folks, this is going to be with all Ireland liquor, mud paint and powder. That's what it's going to be, folks. Honestly, and again, we're getting ready. But Spice Mass, it kicks off in earnest tonight, Bacchanal Friday, as it is. I want to encourage you folks as you go out, be safe. I mean, I really truly can't overemphasize the need to be safe. Actually, we keep saying, if you're drinking, don't drive. If you're really and truly for some reason you have to drink, I always keep saying you do not have to overindulge in order to enjoy.
Correct.
You really and truly don't need to. But for some of you who for some reason you have these spontaneous moments where you just figure you have to cut loose. Make sure you have around friends and company like Dylan and Tanya that's going to say, hey, yo, easy. You know what? Go easy for the next hour. Just drink water. Flush yourself with a soda. You know, have some peanuts. Relax yourself. Get some good oil done. That's a really good oil. And I think maybe for those guys who's going that route, they need to start. That's what they should start the day.
With oil.
Something really
heavy
solid
and
heavy to make sure that whatever you add to it, there's already stuff in there to absorb.
Thing good for your back. We getting oil down today?
Well, how should we reach on the back now?
All right.
You know what? I'm leaving that conversation right here. I mean, Tanya just went down Frederick Street on over. Folks, Tanya left us up here in Observatory Road. She took a plane and she down. Which way? You went down Charlotte or Frederick?
Lucas.
Yeah, folks, we all having fun, but all good things must come to an end as we've got to make way for the midday edition, a production of a news and current affairs department, and certainly will be presented by someone from the newsroom. 13 minutes on to the hour of 12 o'clock. The day is running around quite nicely. Reminding you that in the midst of everything, there continues to be action in the Commonwealth Games. And tomorrow, Red Walcott, he's out on the streets. Anderson and the gang this weekend, they're in full action. Kurt and Felix, they ended, Lyndon Victor, Kurt Victor, they ended yesterday after 5 events. They were actually leading. So Lyndon was in position number 1, and Victor, his brother, was in position number 3. It was 3, 4, 3?
3, 4.
Yeah. So we're going for gold, Grenada. We are going for gold. We go for silver. We're going for everything. Certainly we continue to but one of the coaches did emphasize the need that we do not become too we manage our expectations.
There's a couple more events to go, There's
still a couple more events to go. He's leading. But certainly remember the other athletes, the junior athletes, they've done well. We've had, for example, the likes of Zachary Gresham, who established 3 national records, and he's automatically earned a spot to the Pan Am Games. And then we had young Tilly Collymore. She also did a few personal bests, and she qualified for one of the upcoming meets later on in the year. She's only 14, so we say kudos to the team, and it's a nice blend. Some young and upcoming ones, and then there's the old men like Anderson and those.
The old men,
the old men in the midst.
The old partner, young still, man.
Well, all in the context of the experience that they bring to the team. So we continue to follow it. So that we here at the GBN will continue to keep you updated on everything else as it is. Whatever happens, go have yourself a really enjoy the rest of back on Friday as it is. Your boy JC. I will be on the inside, keeping safe and sound, and certainly. Well, actually, no, I'm not saying a total goodbye to you yet, because I'll be back with you tomorrow from 10 until 2. Yeah, to just a little infusion of the soca. But then whatever happens, if I don't see you again for the weekend, be safe. Keep doing what you have to do. Be good to your friends and families. And remember, folks, that COVID still an ever-present threat. And be cautious of the monkeypox. Keep within your zones, in the circles that you need to be, and don't overindulge on anything, good, bad, or indifferent. You do not overindulge. If you overindulge in something good, it might make you become fanatical. If you overindulge in something that is bad, it makes you become a little bit demonic. Yeah? Either way. Be good, Grenada. Peace and love. JC loves you. I'm out of here for now.